Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for Survival Saturday, and tonight's topic is Prepper's Hidden Garden. And how's everybody doing out there? And I got somebody down here in the basement. All right, got Mark here.
Oh man, there's a long set of stairs getting out of the basement.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. Anyways, let's see who all's in here. I got a couple more came in here. Yeah, a couple more came in. So let me start at the top here. First one in, as usual lately, is Shady Hill Homestead, followed by Phelan Clan Wolf, then Walt Rogers, Sue Me, Took by V, and Tammy at Rebel Canners. Mark here at Chef Tech came in. Holly Ivans is here. Butch Graves is here from Colorado. And that's all that's in here so far. And I was going to send Howie the link, but I forgot. It's been a fun day. But since we're talking gardening, I got to change my hat here. So just hang on a second here. And I got my gardening hat on. All righty. I've touched on this a couple times, but mainly over on Kent Patton Family Compound. Howie's come up. Howie's touched on this on his channel a bunch. I mean, over the years, we've touched on it a lot about a prepper's garden or a hidden garden, whatever you want to call it. And Jack's here with Geeky Gardens. And this is something that actually, here's Tammy. Trying to come in. I'm not sure if she's there. She is. Must be bad internet. Got back there.
Hold that phone up in the air.
And
probably
one of the things to consider on your hidden garden, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again and again and again, a good hidden garden looks like a flower bed or a bunch of shade trees. If you can hide it good, it'll blend in and people just, not pay attention to it. Prepper for the Ages is here. Kathy D. Salt and Light is here. And so let me bring up the slideshow here. Just a few pictures, just to give you some ideas. Then we're going to talk about ideas. So this is actually somebody's garden. And he has it. It's so overgrown with edibles, it looks like a weed patch. Something like Howie would do. But if you want to have a nice yard and stuff, you plant stuff in front and you have a little fence and a little arbor on the walkway up, and you have the edibles hidden amongst all the flowers and everything else back behind the fence in the front yard. And most people are just going to see all the flowers out front. They see, the bees buzzing around, the roses and stuff, and they don't think of anything in there as edible. In the backyard, get with your neighbors and say, hey, can we put up, higher fences and stuff. These some places they put in 5-foot tall fences to divide backyards and stuff. Because I know you like a little privacy, out there when you got your friends over and you're having a party. You don't need me looking over the fence. And I'd like the same thing. And you get with your neighbors and you put up 8-foot fences. And then they don't see the stuff you're growing. I mean, you notice this one, there's no grass in the backyard.
That's my kind of yard.
Well, that's what my wife did to our front and backyard. There is no grass on the property in California. Hasn't
Well,
been for, geez, 20 years.
well, she was ahead of the curve when they banned lawnmowers or gas-powered lawnmowers.
Yeah. Now, one of Howie's favorite, and it froze. One of Howie's favorite things is what he's called guerrilla gardening, going into parks, hillsides, places that are publicly owned by the city, the county, the state, whatever, and planting food. And like here's his looks like I see some palm trees, so this looks like Southern California to me. And the hillsides, yeah, the hillsides are kind of brown, but you can plant drought-resistant vegetables and vining plants and stuff out there. And he takes up a 2-gallon sprayer there, and he just dribbles the water on to water the different plants. And he gets stuff growing up there, and people just think he's decorating gardening up there for looks. And you plant stuff that are a lot of root crops and stuff, and they're never going to see it. Some other groups are planting some native type flowers and stuff that are edible, and other plants that are edible. I wish I had one of the assistant scoutmasters from the troop here. He's he's a biologist, but with plants and stuff for wildlife, and he takes the scouts out for their some of their merit badges and shows them all different things. And he goes around the one campground called Camp Herms. It's a Boy Scout training camp in the hills up by Oakland. And it's all right. There's miner's lettuce. There's this, all the native plants that are edible. And he goes, but this one over here, you guys don't even touch. You don't get within 10 feet of it. That's hemlock.
Yeah.
So
don't go anywhere near it.
Yeah. Especially when it's in blossom and the pollen's out. And so, yeah. And so there's a lot of things you do. Little known peppers in the house. Let's see. Do I got anything else after that? Yeah. And here's I'm not sure. I think this is still Southern California. Doesn't look like Phoenix area to me, but they got the cactus growing, and hey, a lot of cactus are edible. Or medicinal. I can't say the word.
Medicinal.
Thank you. I get tongue-tied with a cough drop in my mouth.
And surprisingly, people think of cactus as being a warm weather plant and a southern plant, but there are cactuses that are hardy to zone 3, and I can grow here in Michigan that are edible. So.
My wife is going to be talking to you about that. She has a big collection of small cactus, names cactus there in California. And she goes, I can't bring any of these there. It's like, we can bring them and we'll see which ones survive.
No, I had a lady that I went to a garage sale, and she had them on the back porch, so it was on the southern side, so it was a little bit warmer there. And she gave me a start, and I think I have 6 or 8 plants from that start she gave me.
Cool.
Yep.
And Myra Page just came in on your side.
Thanks, Myra. One more thing about the cactus. So not only do they have the edible, it's the prickly pear. Okay. So not only do they have the part that's edible, I planted them underneath my daughter's bedroom windows. Every bedroom window for any of my girls has cactuses underneath it. That's all I'm going to say on that subject.
It's a home security thing. It's been out there for a long time. Good thorny rose bushes.
Did you plant under the boys too?
No.
No, they got bars on the windows.
I actually had
on the inside.
They had an alarm that went off if the window got opened.
All righty. Our treasured homestead here as well. Yeah, cactus is, different type of cactus, different things. We call it the water barrel cactus. It looks like a little water barrel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Why do you think they call it the water barrel cactus?
Because they're full of really icky water.
Hey, but that icky water will keep you alive.
We had one. Okay, me and barrel cactus have a love-hate relationship. My mother, we lived in Florida for a while. My mother brought back some cactuses, and that cactus was in our house, and it was about the size of a 5-gallon pail, and it loved to reach out and grab me every time I went past it.
It is easy to propagate. I'll give some hints of that. Okay.
Yeah. I think nopal is actually
lamb square seeds were on sale on Amazon. So, yeah.
Oh, Holly, I could have gave you a whole bunch of them because they're all over out here.
Yeah. All right. Do I got one more picture or not? No, that was the end of that. But I do have something for you guys. Actually, I gotta change something up here real quick because I can't bring in have the sound from the second screen during the countdown because it produces an echo. But I have. Come on. I want to get everything set up here right here first, so I can do this. So present, share screen. Come on. There it goes. Doom. And let me go ahead.
Oh,
I gotta
yep.
Get some stuff out of the way here. So I'm going to play this here in a second here. I need to get some stuff cleared off the screen here. One there and that one there. Okay, so hopefully the volume is turned up enough on this. Let me double check the computer here, make sure that I got everything up here, so it should be loud enough for you guys. And hopefully this will work. And this is so Howie. I sent this out, and this is what I call a Texan Howie.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if you couldn't hear it, I put the link to the video. It's a reel on Facebook. Yeah, so I mean, so I saw that yesterday, and it's like, oh, I gotta share. I sent it to Joe and Courtney. I think I sent it to you too. Yeah.
Yep.
And that is just so cool that there's more than just Howie out there and not down there and all around to setting stuff out. No hearing. Crap! I kind of turned up as loud as I. Oh.
Yeah, it was a silent movie.
Dang.
He planted blueberries right by the spring, and then blackberries and raspberries.
And elderberries.
Elderberries, yep.
And he was talking about, he doesn't know who's doing it. Go, if you see it, water it, please.
Yes, right. Don't know who it was, but please water it.
And I think he was talking about he has seeds for different Appalachian apples and stuff that you can get for free.
Yeah, but you have to pay for postage.
Yeah.
I can't wait till next year with the 20 pounds of mixed tomato seeds I have in my freezer right now to sprinkle all over my woods down where it's always cool and damp, and I'll never have to water them, and I'm sure I'll have a million happy deer and everything else, and probably a few tomatoes to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll video.
And that's the thing too is if you have I know people like Kaylin are in apartments, but if you have if you're taking out a if you're going to take out your lawn and do some gardening in the backyard, and you're going to pull the trigger and buy a small rototiller, let your neighbors know, hey, you need to put in a garden. I can rototill your area too for you. And that way you find out who's growing food and you start talking to them and get them growing food too. And then they'll get their neighbors growing food, and you may get more people growing food, and then everybody has something to bond around. And and everybody plants something a little bit. Most people wind up planting the same things, but different varieties, different tomatoes, cucumbers, different squashes, and peppers, and you'll start sharing things. And I froze again.
I met my new neighbors up on the hill by my property yesterday. I walked up there because I wanted to talk to whoever built the house. Apparently their dad did it, so he's not going to build mine. But we were just talking. I was like, oh, yeah, I got a tractor. Like, oh, yeah, the guy that was supposed to brush hog up here, he had hay growing, couldn't cut the hay. Now the whole field is a mess. And I didn't get a chance to talk to them, but they know what I'm into in terms of I'm a chef and all that. And they're all excited, young couple, because they had their own garden. The deer got into it. I was like, you need a little fence. Like, oh, you got to teach us this stuff. I'm like, you just moved to the country, but sure, I'll do that. And I might even trade him my brush hogging skills and tractor for a day to have her dad bring his Mini X down to the property and drag my container to the other side, because that'll probably work.
Yeah. We have what they call linear parks here, where they've taken the old railroad beds and made them into rails to trails is the original group for that. And so we have a lot of, and they're all paved, and people ride their bikes on them.
Some large truck just parked in front of my house.
And when I walk those trails, I always have things in my pocket that just happen to fall out. Apple seeds, walnuts, blueberry seeds, little plants that need started places. They just fall out of my pocket every time I walk that trail.
Yeah. Of all the peas I harvested out here, I had a small bowl of it, and I soaked them all and stuff. And just before the rains came down, I was out there just tossing them around, knocking them into the with my foot, just because they soaked until I had like little, 3/4 to half inch to 3/4 inch little root sprout on it, and just kick it in and stuff. I got peas coming up everywhere now, which is going to help put nitrogen in the soil for all of those wood chips.
Yes. Oh, that's a perfect idea. And
they did the same thing in Pleasant Hill and Walnut Creek, side-by-side cities in Contra Costa County there in California, and even down from Walnut Creek down, there's an unincorporated area down before you get to Alamo, and they paved the whole thing with a 6-foot wide walkway.
Yeah. Yep. That's what
they painted a white line down the middle and arrows, so you don't have bicyclists going the wrong way.
Oh, the bicyclists are maniacs. I wish they would actually have done 2 separate 3-foot paths, and one for the bikes and one for the walkers, because they'll come right up on the back of you, and then you can't hear them till they're right on top of you, and then they're whizzing by, and you're like startled every time they.
Yeah. Well, and Pleasant Hill went in and put a second one because it was a nice wide area, and they put in a second gravel one for bikes.
Oh, there you go.
For the ones that want to go fast, and they put bikes over there. But hey, Danielberry Sports Highlights in here. But what's interesting is off the side, they planted some native flowers, a lot of California poppies, and some other things. But it's all barked,
nice.
Wood chipped, all wood chipped and stuff. And the first 4 feet on either side of the pavement has weed blocker under it. And the only places stuff where they cut it and planted a plant in it was the other stuff. You got more stuff going up there. But that's one of the things that a friend of ours was out there because she was the head of the horticulture for the county college system. She was out there with students planting, stuff out there all the time, and nobody would say anything. Oh, Diablo Valley College, this is what we're doing, and nobody said anything. And it was funny. Sometimes the city police would come up and say, "Let me know the next time you're doing it. If it's on my day off, I'll come help you."
Awesome. That's so cool. But then, they could put so many edible plants. They could put blueberries along.
They were.
They
were putting a lot of edibles in there, mixing in, and as they put a bunch of nasturtiums in as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they were doing flowering edibles that were, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. One thing I want to share. You want to see let me see if I can get it going, get the right one here. And I got an ad popping up here, so I got to wait before I share this one. All right, so on my channel, I got the My Garden playlist. And actually, it's not really my garden. Well, I put some of my garden stuff in there, but it's mainly the Staff Sergeant Scott playlist stuff. And this is the front yard. And there's absolutely no grass out there. It's surrounded by roses and other thorny plants. But everything inside, other than the chatalpa tree there, which at this time of the year is when it dies. It kind of loses its leaves during the summer, but in the winter, it flowers and blossoms in the wintertime. And she goes through and she shows all the different plants she's got growing on here. I would say 80% of it, even though she has flowering plants, 80% is edible. But you can't tell, because of the way some of the stuff is, even though it's in pots and stuff. She's got a lot of different ones. She's got strawberries growing on. She's got all sorts of plants growing on there. And so some of the stuff people look at and go, oh, pretty, pretty. And what you can't see in the background, let's see if I can get it on to bring that one in the background up a little bit more here. The one thing I want to show there, come on, go behind her here. She's going in strawberries. All right. We picked up when Yardbirds went out of business. We picked up a couple of the wire rack things that they use for displays, and she plants peas or beans on it. And of course, she picks the ones that flower a bunch, and so it's got that on there. And so people go, "Oh, what is that? That's a neat flower," not realizing that it's food. So, but front yard, she's got all the little, all the different types of plants around, and it looks like a flower jungle. Of course, in the sunflowers, she got the big monster sunflowers as well. And come on, so I can back it up a little, catch it there. She's got different herbs and stuff growing in pots, and that is a miniature rose in that pot there. And usually it's covered with a bunch of flowers. This is after most of the flowers have dropped. And people get, you think you're going to, just push that out of the way. Well, that is the thorniest little booger ever. So, there's a lot of things you can do in your front yard. And there's all her cactus and everything else, all her succulents. And you got another shelf up above of them as well. And so when people see the succulents and stuff, they go, oh, they think everything in there is, decorative. They don't realize how much of it is food.
And you can get things like, I mean, there's a variegated leaf elderberry. So,
Mhm.
you can get edible plants that are very decorative and very beautiful, and nobody will realize that's what they are, and plant those around your house instead of those horrible yew things.
She's talking about some of the plants there. She's got more of them down in here. And all right, so she's got boysenberries, I believe, or is that the blueberries? But yeah, she has boysenberries and blueberries growing in different tubs there and stuff. So yeah, she's got a bunch of those growing down there, and so. But in the backyard, where most people can't see, she has. And this is, so we got grapes. Oh, this year the grapes went absolutely nuts on her, and she was beating the squirrels to them.
Watch out, the squirrels love currants.
Yeah, and she under here. Yeah, those are wisteria seeds. Yeah, the table here. I get the table. I'm back to the table. Come on, give me the table. But she does these pots most of the time. She's moved them out, but she's propagating. She does it in the shade here underneath the wisteria. And then let's get up here farther. And she has some of her decorative, her sensitive, non-food plants. But then she has plants growing here, and that is a shoot. A fruit. Basically, it's a lot of seeds in it. Almost all seeds.
Mulberry?
No, like the size of a between a baseball and a softball. And it
Pomegranate.
Pomegranate, yes. And this is several years back. The pomegranate has overtaken the entire area there, and she has stakes to hold it back off the walkway. And when I said earlier, I counted over 40 pomegranates on it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not a bad problem to have.
No, not at all.
No.
Too bad they don't grow up here.
Yeah.
In a greenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's
that would be
look
one.
at some of the pomegranates there. And those are some squash she did. And then apple trees, you got the Granny Smith and the Fuji. And this is the Fuji. And then behind her, you got an orange tree that was my mom's that for 20 years was in a half 55-gallon barrel. And it moved with her from a couple blocks away down to Southern California and then back up here when my mom moved back up here. And after my mom passed away, we put it in the ground and it went bonkers.
Finally had some space.
Yeah. But it still, even when it was on the tree, I mean, it was loaded, while it was in the tub there, and those the best oranges I've ever had. And she got all sorts of the plants, but there's no grass back here. That is a wicking tub I built for her. Cupcake swap. And zucchini, second generation, planted from seeds. And there's a patty pan, and then she's got apricot, um, mandarin orange, a bigger orange, several other lemon trees in there. And so, you can do stuff like this, you know, around and stuff. It's like Howie has a lemon tree in a pot, in a 27-gallon pot in his house. And that lemon tree stays in the house and it produces lemons all the time. And if you watch some of Howie's videos, you'll see the lemon tree in the background in his house.
They must be self-pollinating.
Yeah. Either that, or since it's in the house and it's like, okay, Q-tip.
Q-tip, yep.
We're done. Oh, Rip Curl Readiness came in. And yeah, they've had, we were having problems with the squirrels, and then the neighbors back behind the shop had big piles of scrap wood back there. And guess what was living in the scraps in the big pile of scrapped wood? It wasn't squirrels.
Chipmunks. Mice.
No.
Snakes.
Mm-mm. Wharf rats.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the squirrels squirrels go after the apples and
cherries,
the peaches, and the cherry. Not so much the cherries, but they go after the grapes, the apples, the peaches, and the nectarines during the daytime, and the rats would go after it during the night. Well, I put out a bunch of cocoa powder and baking soda and sugar out in things around it. All of a sudden, there's a lot less rats. So this year she had a lot better stuff with the success with the plants going. Ooh. All right, so Butch's in Colorado has an orange tree and a Buddha hand tree growing in his living room. The orange, yeah. So you can grow stuff indoors, people. There's proof right there.
Hey, I think I told you I picked up a bunch of white peaches to freeze dry. When I took the stones out, a couple of them were split. Some were just rotten inside. There was nothing left. One of them was sprouting, so I threw it in a little container. You want to see it?
Sure.
Put my look at that.
Cool.
Nice.
It is so cool. And yeah, of course it's September right now, and it's going in the house. And if that's actually, I don't care if it's a white peach, red, I don't care what kind of peach it is. If it's a peach and it gets peaches, yeah, it's going to go out because it came from local around here, like 20 miles away. So it's in the zone. So I'm good there. And that's going to go out at the property after it gets probably 2-3 years. I can put it in the ground and then surround it, because I know I got good moisture down underneath the property out in the field area. And those things, because I know peaches get tap roots, not like apples, which go out sideways. They go straight down and look for water because they need water. So I don't think I'm going to have any problems with that one.
Yep.
I'm all excited.
You maybe just reminded me of something. Thursday when I was really sick and I didn't go outside, the one peach I missed on the Red Haven when I planted it this spring, or late spring, early summer, fell off. And it was, I mean, I had to hold it, and it was bigger than my fist here. I mean, it was huge. And so I took it over to my daughter to divide amongst the grandsons. But that was the biggest peach I've ever seen. And so if the Red Haven keeps producing like that, the staff sergeant's going to be so happy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot you can do to make a simple prepper garden that nobody knows about, Root crops are really big. And if you're going to do Jerusalem artichokes, aka sunchokes, you need to make sure that the ground has some sort of blockage in there to keep them. Otherwise, they'll just spread and take over. But
or the rabbits will get. The rabbits ate all mine.
Oh no, they dug it. They dug them up.
Yeah. So you need to kind of protect them like you do tulip bulbs and stuff.
Yeah. That's when you give the boys. All right, here's your 22 air rifle. Have fun. So radishes, red radishes, daikon radishes, all the different type radishes. Most people don't know what that clump of stuff of greenery is. They think it's weed or something else, a weed, not the weed, and something else in there, and they're not going to go digging in there thinking it's it's food. And so turnips, carrots is one you might get away with or might have problems with because like I said, I haven't seen carrots with tops on them other than at the local grocery store. Every place else has them pre-trimmed and packaged in bags. Mm-hmm. So people, a lot of new people don't know what a carrot top looks like.
Get them in colors. If you get a colored carrot or a parsnip, they won't know that that's edible. Most people only understand orange for carrots.
Yeah. Ooh. Holly found wild lettuce. Ooh. So there is you can do it. The property there is basically a couple 100 feet shy of being a third acre, but I got the one area in the front yard just has a driveway on it. The other one has a 3-car wide driveway up to the house, and then concrete going up alongside the house all the way to the back fence, and a big pad back there, a couple. And so basically, it's without the shop and all the extra concrete, the patio and stuff. It's like a 1/4 acre house lot. And we got a lot of trees in there, a lot of food growing in there. And so, you can do a lot if you think outside the box. Oh, what else is there? So side chat, what do you want? What do you think you could plant in your local county park if they had areas that people don't go into? Because I notice a lot of parks in California will have the big grass areas and they'll have the picnic areas with the grills, the kids' playground areas, and they plant a bunch of trees around on where there's it's not flat where it goes up on a little hillside. So there's a lot of they basically just let whatever grows up there goes in there. If it gets too high, just go in there with a weed whacker and cut it down a little bit. But what do you think you could plant around your neighborhood that could be, quote, guerrilla gardening for a small prepper garden off your property that would work? You think it could work, and what could you try to plant there? Trying to remember who did it. One person planted in their grass, went ahead and planted radishes and I think it was turnips and something else, and they were just all here, there, and there. So it looked like a bunch of, and then of course he had dandelions coming up as well. Oh, you need to put some some of that weed and feed on there. He goes, no. I would rather eat the dandelions than have the poison on the lawn, poisoning my kids. And he said he got a lot of poison in your kids. Yeah, you put that weed and feed on your grass. Guess what? The grass has poison on it now. And even if you water it a couple times, that poison's still there. And anybody playing on it, walking on it, is tracking poison around. But yeah. What would you guys plant out in just, you know?
I can tell you what I have guerrilla planted in areas.
Mm-hmm.
Asparagus, mulberry, black walnuts, black raspberries, red raspberries, yellow raspberries, strawberries. And I have picked squawberries and then moved them to my food forest. They're not very tasty, but it comes on a different time than all the other fruits, and they are, good. Lamb's quarters, wood sorrel, garlic. I've hidden some garlic out there. So as you're walking, you might find quite a bit of things to eat.
Ooh, garlic sounds like an easy good idea, because when it comes up, it just looks like onion grass.
It does.
And people don't bother it.
You can find it easy because you can smell it.
Oh yeah, as long as you don't plant something in a park where they have landscapers all the time.
Then you gotta is another big one. It's not necessarily edible; it's medicinal.
You said mulberries. I had a couple mulberry trees, little ones in my backyard and the side yard that I don't know where they came from, but the birds obviously eat the berries. And I have a culvert next to my house. It's a water management. It's not that big. It's like 8 feet wide and just got big rocks in it. Well, they like to wash down into the other half of the neighborhood, because everywhere I go down there next to the culvert pipes, there's mulberry trees growing everywhere.
But they're very high in protein. They're actually really good for you. In a pinch. I plant them around my chicken coop because they feed the chickens, and I'd rather the chickens eat the mulberries and I eat the eggs. It's a win-win for me that way.
Yeah, plus whatever ants and bugs fall off the mulberries into the chicken area, they're going to eat them too.
Yes.
That was the only thing I hated about mulberries.
I think that's why the mulberries are really high in protein, because they always have a lot of bugs on them.
Oh, maybe. I always hated that, because you shake the tree and get a whole bunch of mulberries and you just see ants everywhere. I'm like, okay, I'm really not in the mood for this mess. I'll eat them one at a time off the tree.
Yeah. All right, I got something else to show you here. This is the park, a block and a half away from the house in California. And what you can't see right down here at the bottom is the little stream that goes through the park. There it is. But you said asparagus. I was thinking, especially farther off to the right here, when it goes to the one area of planting asparagus down in there for people. But the problem is the kids go after all the crawdads. There are a lot of crawdads in there with all the kids in the neighborhood around. There's still.
But the asparagus comes up in May, and then they can trample it after that. By the time it's warm enough, well, here for people to be in the water, the plant would be fine.
Kids are in the water
year
the middle of April, 1st of April.
Yeah.
And so this is the street, and right there on the left is the where it is. But
another good one that people don't think of is Kuza dogwood. The little Kuza dogwood is edible, the little fruit. So you could plant that.
Yeah. They were some of these small trees. I think a couple of these newer trees here are fruit trees, because people were telling them to try to plant fruit trees. I think they planted some apple trees.
Yep, that'd be good.
So they're trying to
you can save the seeds right out of your apple. Will it be the exact apple you just ate? No, but it will definitely be edible. It might be a crab apple cross, Those are still edible. You can still use those to make cider. You can still use those to make jams and jellies. So people can still eat those. So that's another thing. You can save your food scraps and plant them.
But there are some pathways through, and there's areas off the pathway to plant stuff. And this is on the top side of the park. And that's not a cherry tree, is it?
Looks like a dogwood.
Looks like dogwood.
Okay. But they're supposed to be they're supposed to be planting more fruit trees around the parks.
Oh, they don't want to plant fruit trees because they're messy and attract animals. They just won't do it. A couple parks around here, people wanted to do it, and they said no. Sorry.
Yeah, well, the fortunate thing is I know 3 of the people in the city council love fruits and stuff, and they thought it was a great idea. So it may be just telling the park and rec department, no, you will plant them or you'll find another job. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of they brought in some mulch in. Yeah, there's as you see now, the kids go after the crawdads.
There's a town here in Michigan south of me, the town of Shepherd. They planted all maple trees in their town. Mm-hmm. Then they tap the trees. They have a syrup festival and pancake party every spring. They sell the syrup they make, and that helps fund all the kids' programs for the city.
Unfortunately, in California, they don't have enough chill days to do the maple trees.
I'm just saying, though, that's a great idea for cities to do something like that where they could grow maples.
Yeah. Northern Girl Hobbies is here on your side.
Hi.
And that's the thing is if you get involved with your city council and befriend them, don't go in oh, you need to do this, you work for no, go befriend them, ask questions, be interested, and then start making suggestions. You might have a better chance on getting, the different type of fruit trees. I know here at this park, probably work at this park. You could definitely work at 2 of the other parks the city has, which are even better protected weather-wise. Plant orange trees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be like, and after a few years, they're going to be big enough, and everyone's going to be picking oranges, but hey, that's what it's there for.
Our local Walmart has a row of apple trees between the parking lot and the road, and I saw somebody with a cart and a bunch of boxes picking up all the fallen apples for deer bait. So the whole argument that they're messy and that it's going to attract things, people will pick them up and use them.
Oh, yeah. And with the number of people like in there in Martinez, that have horses around different areas, people are always coming to the to see the horses, the little miniature horses across the street, and it's they're always trying to bring stuff, and John says, as I said, has put out a sign. If you want to feed the horses, ask Chris for apples. And a sign pointing across the street to our place. And usually she has sitting out front little cardboard, Amazon boxes full of apples. And people go over and get a couple apples and feed them to the horses.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Glenn, how's it going? Out of Gardens here. So, if you can work with your city to get them to plant fruit trees, and then you could, once the fruit trees are growing, you can pull a Howie, and even some of the other trees that they're not going to pull out, plant the certain varieties of squash that'll they will climb the tree, and you'll have the squash up in the trees.
Yeah, that's my next trick out at the property too, because I've been saving all the acorn squash and butternut squash seeds. Would love to let them just climb up all the trees, and of course I need my ladder to go get them. But I don't care. It'd be cool.
Yeah, that's how he does. He takes a ladder out there. He sets the ladder up on the side of the tree, away from the hiking path, and goes up the trees and harvests this stuff. Yeah. Ooh, that is a good find. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here because I got to get up in 8 hours and finish loading the truck up for my drive to see the staff sergeant. And so it's coming up here on Monday.
Tentative coming up or definitely coming up?
Pardon?
Tentatively coming up or definitely coming up?
Don't know if she doesn't know if she's coming out yet because since her mom broke her hip, she's still down there spending the nights at her mom's place down in Fremont.
Yeah, no, I meant your shows, not your wife, but anyway.
Oh, my shows?
The
shows should all be going. So Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, we're going to be talking about canning frozen foods.
Yep.
Which is, come check that one out. That's going to be pretty good.
You mean like TGI Fridays mozzarella sticks? Can I can those? I'm kidding. That's a joke. You know that's a joke from me.
No.
I get you to see somebody thinking you're serious and try canning it. All right. All right. So Tuesday on Tactical Tuesday here in Gray Man Prepping, Inspector Gadgets. The midnight ride on Thursday, which will be early at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern, instead of 10 o'clock Eastern. And then Friday is going to be going over the garden library on Camp Patton. And then next Saturday is dealing with youth in a difficult situation. And this was a suggested topic from one of the subscribers here. And it basically what the person said, and I'm going to read the part of the email here real quick. It says, a prepper problem dealing with children in very difficult situations. Please expound upon. So that's what we're going to be talking about next Saturday. All right. So I want to thank Cammie and Mark for coming up here, and thank everybody for the comments in the side chat and all the ideas and everything going on there. And so everyone, remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps. Water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill like guerrilla gardening. And get ready for what we're doing here on Gray Man Prepping. The Indoor Garden Challenge will start January 1st, but if you get stuff going now, like an orange tree, like somebody has in his house, whatever you harvest next year is good for the Indoor Garden Challenge.
It's a peach tree, and I just looked a second.
I'm talking about what Butch said. He's
when I put that one back, I looked in my other two pots, which I planted the whole stone that were cracked. I have another one coming up. It's like a 1/4 inch tall. It's cute as I can't say it.
Cute as a button.
Yeah, that's it. A button. Yeah. Peach button. Cute as a peach.
All right, everyone. See you later.
See ya.